essentially what they're going to do is find a woman, many of whom are very young, because in many of these countries they're going to, the legal age of consent is much younger than the United States. If you don't see why that's disturbing, get some help. They're going after these women who are very young, very vulnerable, very naive, usually in poor families, and they're essentially buying these women from their families, which, I'm sorry, is human trafficking. You're going to another country to buy a wife out of poverty and bring her back here to essentially be your housekeeper and slave. It's human trafficking. You can throw a marriage certificate on it to make it look more wholesome, but it's human trafficking. That's what it is. In many cases where these girls are underage, I can have a lot of sympathy for men when they're struggling and what they're going through, and the fact that, yes, the world is absolutely set up today for men to fail, and there's a lot of ways that we hold men down and we destroy masculinity. But you know what? Human trafficking, and there's no excuse for that. Ever. Like, ever.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Fam, I find it hilarious this queen actually labeled this video the truth about passport bros, when she basically made stuff up and sprinkled it with her rich Western strong independent queen down talking points to women of lesser developed countries. Okay, let's tackle part of this with actual facts. She said in many of these countries, the legal age of consent is much lower than the US. Did she research that before blabbering it out on the internet? Well, I just researched it. Links in the description. Disclaimer, the following is only information about US laws compared to laws in other countries. I do not condone to any adult taking advantage of a young individual regardless of where they are or who they are. These are only research facts to bring to light awareness and education of the topic that was mentioned. Depending on the circumstances, in 9 US states, consent at 13 is the lowest. It's important to note that is restricted by age difference, not restricted by authority or unrestricted. It's important to state the difference as not all countries and US states legally view the age of consent the same way. And I will be honest with you, fam, I was shocked when I found that out doing my research. I literally counted up the states with the consent age of 13 listed in Wikipedia. Look it up yourself. Okay, how about the top passport bro destinations? Let's check them out. Brazil. 14 is the lowest. Okay, Colombia, 14 is the lowest. Okay, Romania, 16 is the lowest. Slovakia, 15 is the lowest. Oh, wait a minute. The top destinations. The Philippines, 16 is the lowest. Thailand, 15 is the lowest. Using her logic, it seems that the laws in the US are far less strict for consent. Just on that, the laws don't support her claims on passport bros going abroad looking for underage girls. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. What I am saying is labeling all men who go abroad looking for happiness as if they are deviants with little to no proof is uncalled for. Also, this queen did the typical downplaying and borderline insulting to the women of these other countries. What's that saying about throwing stones while living in a glass house? Oh my, marrying a woman and giving her a better life is human trafficking. Someone call the press! Only US women are entitled to marry US men. And that's like a Krispy Kreme employee criticizing you for going to Dunkin' Donuts. Moving on!
If you're wondering why the Passport Bros movement exists, watch this.
The Passport Bro movement in America exists because men in America, they lack motivation, they're mediocre. And women in America have to work, they get educated, and they start making money because they have to. So why would American women have to put up with a man that don't have any of those qualities? These passport bros, they think they can go to another country and offer this woman. And he says it in the video that if he goes to the Philippines and he offers a woman a better life, he said it right there. He's just basically manipulating these women into thinking that they're going to have a better life with them, which they might because they may live in very poor areas. But guess what? If you bring her to America, that's expensive. You're going to have to work your ass off. You're going to have to be the provider. You're going to have to pay for all her bills if she doesn't have an education. You might even have to pay for her education, and she might end up leaving you because life here is different, and you can't expect women in America to be like the women in other countries.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Dang, fam. So let me get this straight. A man who gets his passport in the US and relocates to another country means he lacks motivation. I would argue he is showing a lot of motivation to get away from queens like this one. just like all the other women who drank up the strong and independent I don't need no man Kool-Aid. Until retirement age comes up and she starts posting videos asking where the good men are. It's not like they got their passports, right? Oh, wait! And again, it seems that offering women a better life is manipulating. Yeah, that's what it means when it's offered to someone else and not Western women, right? Why do these queens think the bulk of passport bros are bringing those women back to the West? That's like a cow running back to the slaughterhouse thinking, nah, it'll be fine. And the fact that passport bros go to another country is because they are counting on those women to be different from US women.
Show of hands for everybody who knew. Bingo.
You can't expect women here in America to go for a guy that's below them. If I go to school, I make 6 figures. I want a man that makes 6 figures too or more. Because men in America, they want their women to go 50-50 on the bills and 50-50 maybe on the household and the chores, which usually is more like 90-10. So why would a woman here settle for some loser? We have high expectations because we can. I literally just saw a video of a guy that is stranded in the Dominican Republic and he's broke and he's asking people to cash app him money for his ticket back to the US. Because this man, they're broke in America and they go to another country where the value of the dollar is a lot higher and they lie to these women and they pretend that they're wealthy men when they're not. So they are gaslighting this woman into thinking that they're going to come here and they're going to have this great life. Just stop lying to women. It doesn't matter if they're from another country. They are women. They have expectations and you're lying to them. And you know what? Most quality men in America, they have no problem finding women here.
Queen, a man who is below you? Since when does a woman's money factor into her SMV? This is delusionus maximus. Sister, only women are attracted to money. Men could care less, and this is why these independent queens can't keep a man. Because you don't bother to learn what men want. You just assume. Women are the ones who came up with the 50-50 thing. Men just adapted to it. How dense do you have to be not to realize men would rather travel far away to maintain a traditional woman than be with a 50-50 boss babe in the West? The only way you can demand more from a man is with a high SMV. And as you age, it goes down drastically. And Queen, a man who makes 6 figures has options. Why should he settle for you?
Fatality. Flawless victory.
Moving on.
Passport bros. We're going to another country to find submissive women. Black women are too masculine. We don't want y'all. Black women. That sounds a little bit like trafficking, but you know what? Do you.
They are missing the point why men are going out of their country to find these quality women. They don't want to admit that they lost that femininity that they have.
Wow. Okay. So I've been seeing the whole passport bros thing on Filipino TikTok, and I wasn't going to say anything, but you know what? I can't. There just seems to be some major nuance lacking in the conversation because once again, we have like polarized an issue and made it super black and white. And when that happens, it just becomes a weapon from one side to the other, and it just gets gross and weird. One conversation that we could be having is the inherent power imbalance that happens when you have one person coming from a nation with access to resources and wealth coming into another nation who doesn't have those things and trying to like relationship. Like, I'm not saying you can't relationship. I'm just saying that if you're going to do that, you really do have to acknowledge that power imbalance, because if you don't, it's just going to rule the whole thing.
Okay, fam, obviously it was the Asian lady pointing out that US women have lost femininity that triggered this response. I honestly think there might be some truth to that. Ladies, before you pull your knives out on me for saying that, allow me to defend that statement. The most obvious reason to support that is the fact that men are leaving, and clearly state that is a main reason. But how about other factors, such as the men who are staying in the US are also saying the same thing. On top of that, women claim they find themselves in their masculine energy at times. Well, ladies, what do you want me to say? If it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, and it swims like a duck, I have to call it a queen?
No, how dare you? How dare you? No, how dare you?
And I would know. It's a story in my family. The other thing that's happening is, once again, this like fetishization of Philippine women. And I think that we really need to be careful when we use words like submissive, because once again, there's that power imbalance, and that's a whole other conversation. And it's just really gross how this entire issue has been like, once again, been a tool to like hate on women. Women are not feminine, women are dumb, women are ignorant. And let me just clear up, like, Philippine women, they absolutely know what's going on. They're not ignorant to any of this stuff. But the whole conversation is like, who is woman enough? And like, who even cares about these people, these men leaving? And why is the conversation always about demonizing women? Women in America, women overseas. And it's just not even about like the responsibility and the accountability on like these men. That's not what the conversation is about. Why don't we center things like imperialism, colonialism, racism, socioeconomic inequity? Because those are conversations worth having.
No, this queen is the one with the submissive word issue. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a woman being submissive to her man. That's the strong and independent malware making her system crash when she hears that word, as if it was some kind of insult. Also, who cares about these men leaving? Queens who post videos of them ranting about those exact same men leaving, maybe? Isn't it funny how she mentions colorism as a topic worth discussing, but completely ignores how Western women post videos belittling other women from developing nations, calling them uneducated, poor, ignorant, serfs, intimacy objects, having no free will. Kind of like a school bully claiming they pick on their victims for their own good. Ladies, just come out and admit it. The fact that men have other options that are better than some Western women is a reality check. Either that or these internet queens just need to reach their drama video quota. I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.